So I wanted to make a reaction to Canadian food, and I found this article and I thought it would be an interesting way to learn more about Canadian food. This is the top eats across Canada, the favourite dishes per province. So as I've said many times, each province in Canada is very unique, so I would imagine Cuisine is no different. And I want to know what the favourite dishes in each province are. Again, this is probably very subjective. You might be from a province and you have a different favourite dish from your province, but we can check these ones out. You can tell me what you think about these ones. Tell me what your favourite food from your province is. And if you want to tell me your favourite food from Canada overall, you can. First, we've got British Columbia, and it's Nanaimo bars. Now, Nanaimo bars I've actually heard of before because I've seen people mention in the comments asking me to make a video making these and trying them. So if you want to see that, tell me if that would be a good idea. I might actually try and make them myself. It says here, over the years, this delicious treat has gone by many names. In fact, the first recipe actually originated in 1952 in the edition of the Women's Auxiliary Nanaimo Hospital Cookbook, where it was simply named Chocolate Square. So actually not too old, only 1952 these were created. This definitely looks right up my street. I've seen these before. I have a very sweet tooth, so these look like absolute perfection to me. The Nanaimo bar is a no-bake dessert named after Nanaimo, the Canadian city in British Columbia. Consists of 3 layers, a coconut crumb base, a custard filling, and a chocolate ganache topping. So looks wise, definitely I would love it. Actually reminds me a bit of a like millionaire shortcake, but obviously looks wise it looks similar, but taste wise I'm going to say it's completely different. I like the look of it, I can't deny that. Tell me if you're from British Columbia, do you love Nanaimo bars? Can you get Nanaimo bars in any other province? What do you think about them? Next, we've got Alberta and grilled steak. Alberta produces 44% of Canada's cows and subsequent beef, so it's no surprise that a favourite dish for this province would be grilled steak. Okay, so people have told me before that Alberta, if you were to compare it to a US state, is most like Texas due to the oil. Some people say the political beliefs of the people of Alberta. I don't know how fair that is. People have said that. But another one would be maybe the steak. I know that that's quite popular in Texas as well. So grilled steak in Alberta. Yeah, tell me what you think about that. What's your favourite way to have grilled or to have steak or beef in Alberta? How does Alberta steak compare to, or beef compared to like Wagyu beef or Angus beef? Here we see some good steaks here. Definitely love steak. And yeah, a good stat there that 44% of Canada's cows are from Alberta. Interesting. Saskatchewan, we've got Saskatoon berry pie. So this is something else I've heard of before in one of the previous videos. It says, did you know the berry is actually so important to Saskatchewan that it gave Saskatoon its name? The city of Saskatoon takes its name from the Cree word for berries. Okay, that is very interesting. So the name, Saskatoon's name actually comes from the berry itself. While you can find their berry jams and berry muffins delicious, nothing quite showcases the essence of summer like a Saskatoon berry pie. I mentioned I've got a sweet tooth. I love sweet pies. Tell me how Saskatoon berry pie compares to the other sweet pies. Is that your favourite sweet pie? Let's see. The pie originated in the Prairies region of Canada and is often served with vanilla ice cream as a dessert. That's what I was going to say. You've got these beautiful berries here. I'm going to guess they're quite tart, quite sour. Definitely going to have some nice ice cream on top of that to cut through the sharpness. Maybe even some double cream. How do you like to eat your berry pie, your Saskatoon berry pie? Tell me if you've tried it before, what you think about it. It looks absolutely delicious there, overflowing with the berries. Yeah, man, sign me up for that one. Manitoba, we've got pierogies. Now, I think pierogi is some kind of dumpling, if I'm not wrong. Did you know one of the most emblematic foods of Manitoba are pierogies? I mean, who doesn't love a pierogi? Make them even more Canadian with a touch of bacon and onions. Yes, please. So pierogies, I know, because I think they're actually popular in Poland as well. So interesting that there's similar cuisine in Poland and Manitoba, Canada. They look quite similar here to maybe like gyoza. Gyoza is one of my favourite dumplings. Obviously they're from Japan. Tell me what's usually inside these. how you usually eat. There we got the bacon and onions here. That one definitely looks good. Yeah, I've never tried them. Again, something else I would definitely love to try. So that's Manitoba. Tell me if you're from Manitoba. Is that the most favourite food from there? Ontario, beaver tail. So again, very sweet. Again, this is something I've learned about on the previous videos. It says, home to many things. Ontario is a bustling place home to Canada's capital, Ottawa. In fact, it's a great many things were invented in Ontario, including Hawaiian pizza. How? I don't know. I had no idea where that was from, but it's from Ontario. I like Hawaiian pizza. I'm yes to pineapple on pizza. Tell me if you agree with that. Also butter tarts, but one of the most famous treats is the beaver tail, named right after our emblem of Canada. Yeah, I've seen this before. I think there's actually a beaver tail brand, if I'm not wrong. There we go. Yeah, again, here we've got bananas, jam, chocolate, other things. Tell me what's your favourite topping for a beaver tail. Those look good as well. Could I make one of them? Do you think I've got the skills? How do you make them? I guess we've got an ingredients here. Maybe I'll try and make them one time. Quebec poutine, fries, cheese and gravy. 100% yes, sign me up. I might have said on previous videos, but being from Scotland, when we go out drinking, after a night on the alcohol, on the drink, we go to the takeaway. That's something we get is fries, cheese and gravy or curry sauce. Not cheese curds, unfortunately. I've never tried them before. But this, and I've started making it here. I've had cravings. That's one thing I miss from home. Even though I live in Asia, access to so much good food, I miss my fries, cheese and gravy. I grate the cheese over the fries, make my own gravy, put it on, and it's perfect. Does it get any better? Poutine is a Quebec original that has become a classic Canadian favourite. It first came about in the late 1950s, so again, relatively new creation. I never knew that. Wow. There are many explanations for the name. Did you know the word poutine is slang for mess in Quebec? A delicious mess it is. For sure it is. Absolutely right up my street. I was going to say that I've tried to find poutine in restaurants here in Malaysia. Cannot find it. There is some places that sell what they call poutine, but it looks nothing like this. Definitely don't have cheese curds. Tell me if you want to make a review of that. I don't want to offend anybody by showing them bad poutine, but I can do it just for, it might be funny to see some terrible poutine, to try it. Tell me if you want to see a video on that. Next, we've got Newfoundland, Teutons. So I made a video about Newfoundland English and some people said that I might be mispronouncing it, so I really apologise for that. I'm trying my best. I watched some videos on it, how to pronounce it correctly. Newfoundland feels very different from the rest of Canada, but their food is just as exquisite. A great way to ease yourself into Newfoundland cuisine is with one of their provincial favourites, Teutons. For those who don't know, a Teuton is essentially a cross between a pancake and a flatbread and can be served in a variety of ways with berry jam and butter or fried up with pork fat. You can even use them in place of an English muffin for your eggs Benedict. I've never heard of Teutons before. Let's check this out. What we got here? Okay, yeah, so it is a kind of like pancake slash flatbread slash muffin type mix. A little fried piece of dough. Love the look of that, especially with the syrup and butter. Fried, what did that say there? Fried in pork fat. Either of those sound absolutely perfect to me. Tell me more about Teutons. How do you like to eat them? Are they that good? New Brunswick oysters, famous for its beautiful Atlantic coastline. New Brunswick has an incredible assortment of seafood. Atlantic oysters, also known as caraquettes. What's caraquette? Let's see this. Caraquette is a place in a town in Canada, okay? In particular, they're harvested in the province and they're the perfect dish for first-time oyster goers due to their more subtle, briny flavour. For those who prefer to grill them, okay, let's check out New Brunswick oysters. Okay, they are small, and that smallness is what marks New Brunswick oysters. You don't eat New Brunswick oysters because they're big, powerful, briny or unusual. You eat them because they're delicate, dainty and inoffensive. Okay, they sound perfect to me. Tell me how you like to eat your oysters. Usually I'll have it with Tabasco, a bit of lemon. And tell me what you think about New Brunswick oysters. Are they that good? Nova Scotia lobster roll bites, another seafood-centric province. Nova Scotia is particularly famous for its Atlantic lobster. Did you know Nova Scotia even has its own way of serving lobster rolls compared to New England style? Yeah, I've heard of New England lobster rolls actually. In Nova Scotia, we serve them cold in a bun, buttered. Simplicity is sometimes the best. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see these. Yeah, great, man. So all this Atlantic coastline on the east of Canada, producing some excellent seafood. Tell me how good the seafood is on the east of Canada. Prince Edward Island potato and leek soup. Did you know Prince Edward Island grows more potatoes than anywhere else in Canada? In fact, they represent more than 1/5 of the country's total acres of potato farms. So naturally, our provincial favourite includes potatoes. Well, we've chosen just to focus on one. You can find more here. Potato and leek soup, yeah, man, I'm all for that. I had no idea potatoes were so vastly produced in Prince Edward Island. Again, looks very tasty, homely, hearty food. Yeah, 1/5 of the country's total acres of potato farms. Interesting. Okay, Northwest Territories, Bannock. The Northwest Territories are most well known for their varieties of traditional First Nations foods such as bison. Okay, I've never tried that. Is bison tasty? Or other game, fish and wild fruits. One of the more versatile dishes is bannock, which is the traditional First Nations food that can even be cooked over a campfire. Okay, I've never heard of bannock. Okay, bannock has been a northern favourite for centuries, an important piece of many cultures in the NWT. Okay, cool. Is bannock indigenous or Scottish? Bannock is a type of fry bread which originates in Scotland but was eventually adopted by the indigenous people of Canada. Wow, there's a connection between Scotland and the indigenous people of Canada. I'm quite proud of that as well. There we see, it's like, yeah, some fried bread. I had no idea there was a connection there, but I've never tried that, even being from Scotland. Tell me more about that. But tell me about all those foods. Tell me if they represent your province very well. What's your favourite food from your province? And yeah, tell me if there's any there that you've not tried and that you would like to try. Thanks.